Hello, I'm just after getting off the phone and I come up with another question here. How do you find a therapist? Like, I know I'm saying the whole time, this is my advertising, this is who to come to. I'm not saying you have to come to me. As a matter of fact, if we're not going to click, I'd prefer if you didn't. And you'd prefer if you didn't. So it's lovely that if you decide not to come. But the thing is, who do you go to? How do you find a therapist? Some people put the internet search therapist near me. It's probably the most common search. Counsellor near me is the most common search on Google. And you'll come up with something like BetterHelp or any of these companies. Now, I'm not saying anything about these companies, but the thing about them can be that they are kind of taking you in, charging you a lot more than what they're paying the therapist, and it can tend to affect the relationship. Everyone can go obviously to the free Samaritans numbers, SOSAD numbers, and these are all very easily to find on the internet and pay at house. So there's a lot of free therapy out there in the world. And if you wanted to go and find a therapist near you that you wanted a long-term relationship with or someone maybe that's not so close to you, because I know people are a bit reluctant to go to a therapist near that, and in case they meet them in the supermarket and stuff, which is fine. If I meet someone in the supermarket, how are you doing? We don't stand and talk about what you talked about, So how do you find a therapist? So what I'd say to you is, do your searches, have a look, research where they're working, what they work at, what their specialisms are, and as well you can ask them. Like, if you do find a number and contact them, you can put in a little email or a text message or whatever the system is that you contact the therapist, and you can talk to them and say, well, what's the story here? There's nothing wrong with kind of interrogating the therapist, because I said in an earlier video, the therapy is not about the skill set or the qualifications of the therapist. It never should be. It's about, do you like the therapist? Do we click? Is this a nice relationship? Could I stay in this relationship for a long time? Because if I've gone to therapists and the person on the phone just said to me, I thought it was hilarious, said to me, there's some mental therapists out there. But like, really, we're all people. Everyone's people. There's some mental doctors, there's some mental physios, there's some mental nurses, there's some we are who we are. We're these wonderful, colourful human beings, and we can do mad things. But the thing about it is, you need to pick a therapist that's good for you. You need to be able to make it convenient, and do I have to drive 6 miles? I know my previous few therapists were very, very long distance, and that was just one or two reasons where it was to do with study and it was to do different things, and it made it handy for me. But on my days off, it made it really inconvenient to travel that distance. Now with this online, we can very easily reach people further distances away, so it's much handier. So just, I would say, sit in the room with them if you can. If you can't do an online meeting, but sit in the room would be the ideal. Are they going to give you the 4th session free? Is it something that they want to see if you have a relationship before charging it? Some don't. I know that for a fact. Some charge you immediate fee if you ever go to sit in a room or talk to them, which is absolutely fine. That's their right. People have their own reasons for doing it, and I will not turn around and say they're wrong in any way. I personally don't. I will do, if you want to come to me and start your sessions, that's fine, we'll start charging you. But I would be encouraging everyone to say, reach out and talk to the therapist first, ring them, have an online session, have a face-to-face session if you need to, and then just ask them everything, because it actually amazes me. I offer it, as I said, the free 15-minute, let's say 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'm not really watching me watch, to see how we work together, and does it feel natural, and does it feel like we can continue working together. And I would say to people, ask me anything you want, absolutely anything, and it's really important that you're okay asking me anything. So what's my specialisms is a common question. How do I work? Is it okay? What's it like if I got sick, if I'm not able to turn up, if I just have enough, if I want to leave? How do you feel about that? What will happen there? And these are all really good questions to be able to ask in a therapy session, like the 4th therapy session, to see, this is going to be a long relationship. So if I'm saying, if you're coming because you really need a therapist, and you pick someone because they're a therapist, and later on you realise that, well, actually, I don't really want to come like I know for a fact one of the systems that some therapists employ is whether you attend or don't attend, you pay for your week because that's your week. So let's say they go on 4 weeks holidays in the summer, which is fairly normal for therapists, and then they go for 3 in the winter. You're paying for those sessions. So if you didn't ask those questions or you didn't read the contract at the start, are you going to continue with that therapist? Are you going to, you're going to feel a little bit tricked, I suppose, and then go, oh, I'm not working, I'm not doing this is very unfair, and that may stop you then going to another therapist, because what happens then when you go to the next therapist is you have to start again. Well, you feel you have to start again, and although you don't, this is the truth, you don't, you just bring what you bring. But I know for a fact people do tend to feel I have to start again, because for them to get to where they need to go to, they want to feel that they followed the path, and that their idea is you have to follow me. And it's like, for the therapist, it's like, if I need to follow you or if I'm a bit confused, I will ask you. You don't have to keep me happy. That's not your job. I'll look after me, and you just be able to tell me what you need to tell me. None of my business outside of that. And then if I am a little bit concerned or something's come up and I'm kind of going, like, I'm a bit confused. You mentioned earlier on something and now you're saying this. I just can't put the two together. And then you'll have to go, well, what happened there was, and I'll go, okay, I'm with you. Brilliant, thank you. Let me move on. So we don't expect you to start at the start, but the thing is, when you're arranging therapy, ask as many questions as you can think of. Even if you have to go to Google and see which questions you want to ask the therapist based on this. How much are you charging? Does your fee go up? What way do you get paid? How often do I have to pay before a session? If I miss a session, if I can't afford a session, if I'm sick, if I just want to take a break. These are really, really important questions to get out of the way in the first one. If you don't, as you go on, is the relationship one you feel that you can turn around in the middle of it and then say, actually, I would prefer to, for example, I'd have people say I prefer to go fortnightly instead of weekly. Now, if the situation is okay with that, if there's something that we can go, okay, well, we can work with that and see how that is. But if it's not, then the therapist might say to you, well, it's up to you, absolutely. My feeling is we'd get more done if we do maybe stick together for another 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever their plan is. And I know it's nothing to do with the therapist, but if the therapy needs weekly sessions, and it's really, really strange for you to hear this from a therapist, but I know for a fact when I started off training, and one of the people that were teaching me had said, oh, we don't go fortnightly, we never go fortnightly, we keep it weekly, because fortnightly doesn't work. And as I got into practice, I realised why it doesn't work, because if you go into fortnightly, it takes so much of your effort and my effort to do the work in that week, and it's exhausting. It's literally 2 or 3 or 4 weeks work over, because everything you've brought up is harder to get through in that 2 weeks. Whereas if you do the 2 weeks and then you get to a place down the line where you're feeling, actually, I feel fantastic, I feel really good, I think the therapy is really working for me, I need to take a break from the therapy for a week maybe and see if I can apply these skills I've learned in therapy, and it's working. And then you go, okay, we'll keep going forwardly and see how it is, and hopefully you won't hit a wall. Some people do, some people don't. I did, and I had to go back. It's normal. So the thing is, if you feel that it's going, is it safe to say to your therapist at that stage? So this is all what you probably need to look at in picking a therapist. Are they nice? Does it feel okay? Does it feel safe? Can I challenge them? Is it okay? And it should always, really honestly, it should always feel okay to challenge a therapist and say, what you said last week, you talked about that last week, and that's not what you said this week. And that may be just the case of the therapist got a little bit distracted, or maybe you misheard something. And it's lovely that if you're able to challenge a therapist and clarify, because if you don't and you keep that in, as the therapy goes on, you kind of go, yeah, but he said that the last time and I don't trust him. So yeah, as I said, that's the way the relationship needs to be lovely, and feeling that it's not a restrictive relationship. It should be a loose, comfortable relationship where, yeah, I'm grand with you, I like you, this is going good, and the therapy will get much, much better then for that. Okay? Anyway, thank you for watching. Talk to you soon.